Low power.
Welcome back, Commander.
Affirmative. Unit moving out.
So, they're not kidding when they say that you're surrounded. And I guess in an attempt to not suffer more casualties, the GDA forces are basically just going to sit outside your base for the entirety of this mission.
Yes, sir. Knowledge.
So the only thing you can do is take your stealth tank and see if there's anything you can find on the map that might be able to help you out.
Vehicle reporting. Yes,
Building.
I was looking at the bar, mainly because in later games there's a
yes, sir.
different UI to it. Or at least I'm fairly certain there is. It's been a while. Oh, and since we have a tempo nod, we also have a nuke. Keep in mind though, you only have one nuke. Obviously, like every other mission, but it's something that should be taken into account.
Moving out. Affirmative. Knowledge. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Knowledge. Unit moving out.
Building.
Ready and waiting. Got it. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Unit moving out.
Unit.
So, as one can imagine, when you have 3 openings to your base, you may or may not have 3 groups of GDI forces that are just patiently waiting for you to make a move.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
I suggest saving if you happen to play this level and you're coming across the 3 separate forces. We can see the edge of a couple units there. You want to save just in case the AI decides to pathfind it yourself closer to an MRLS like it just did.
Building.
Because on at least one of my runs, it did that next to some infantry and, well,
Moving out.
kind of have to restart at that point.
Unit moving out. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Moving out.
Low power.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
This map's actually rather small, and I tend to prefer that. I think it's very well built.
Moving out. Yes, sir.
Like it's not obnoxious in the GDI base. The forces are all the same, so if you know how to beat one, you can kind of beat all the others, or at least you can sort of form like a plan as to how you're gonna proceed.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Now, I was hoping that I might be able to, bust a hole in the wall there, but
Moving out.
even if I could squish all the infantry after I get through, it's just not worth the risk of being shot at by advanced guard towers all the time.
Moving out. Affirmative. Affirmative. Moving out. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Another thing to keep in mind is that, like the briefing says, the AI does have airstrikes and will actually just wait you out on them if need be.
Moving out. Yes, sir. Moving out.
The good thing about that is that since the AI has airstrikes, you can kind of use how it uses them to target stuff. Now, it's not anything all too fantastic, as we see I did lose a stealth tank to him, but that kind of opens the door for, say, an APC filled with engineers. Because honestly, why would you want to waste a nuke on a base? Especially when there's 3 large groups of units everywhere.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Now, personally, I don't find it particularly important to keep the SAM sites. There's just not enough of them, and they're gonna come in almost, well, I don't want to say almost predictable ways. But there's just no real sense to having the SAM sites. Unless you want something to, I guess, just like take a bunch of damage. There's just better ways to go about it. Now, maybe I was trying to be a little too fancy,
Unit lost.
but
Unit lost.
I don't think this attempt quite worked. The other issue, too, is that when you try to brute force your way through vehicles, like I did just there, you do happen to attract some unwanted attention. Also, I'm not sure like what the percentage, as it seems to be a percentage, for APCs to just drop their load completely. Because I would have figured the engineers would all bust out. Now, sadly, I don't have power, so I can't really build an obelisk, and you can't capture the ion cannon as always. It also appears that I've attracted a lot of unwanted attention. Now, this is why I don't like MRLSs and, for the most part, rockets. I managed to get a free kill because those MRLSs did more work than my my nod buggy there.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Unit lost.
The reason I built those two sandbags apart from each other was also because I didn't want to have the just in case like rockets managed to miss or do something, I didn't want to,
Launched.
mess that part up. In a way, I really dislike that mammoth tanks are so capable of surviving a nuclear strike.
Building.
And because I've nuked the right side, so there's less units, and I kind of want to keep my harvester, what better thing to do than, drive it into my main base? Also, I don't know what happened. Like, I tried to figure out, like, why exactly the AI acted this way. Because it doesn't quite make sense to me that the AI would just immediately, after I sell a turret, just immediately go berserk and just like hunt all my stuff. Again, I haven't looked at the code or the triggers beforehand, so my assumption for now is that there's a trigger either based on count, so the number of like friendly units or AI units that died, or the fact that all of the infantry within the base died. It's one of those two. That being said, I still have a healthy amount of defenses, so I should be able to survive this. Should. Especially if I can get, I don't know, Obelisk of Light in here. Would help if I wasn't low power though.
Unit lost. On hold. Cancel. Building. On hold. Cancel.
Ready and wait. Affirmative.
Low power. Construction complete. Unit lost. Building.
Right away, sir. Affirmative. Right away, sir. Jumping out.
Man, who doesn't like Obelisks of Light?
Got it. Yes, affirmative. Yes, you got it.
And now that we have an income, we've got more than enough units. There's the only thing that could stop me, and even then isn't really the case, would just be the airstrikes. It's a little annoying that my obelisk couldn't hit that last watchtower though. Guard tower.
Lost.
Okay. Warning. Yes, okay. Waiting.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, and the civilians stopped attacking, so
Reporting right away, sir. You got it.
just on that last sliver of health. And my turret can't reach, because of course.
Support moving out. Affirmative. Ready and wait.
I don't know why I didn't sell the turret as well, but whatever.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost. Construction mission accomplished.